Hey guys, we're back at the electric S10 or the E Square, and because it's a little square body Chevy. It's a 1988 Chevy S10 originally, and I wanted to kind of go through and show you a lot of what it takes to make one of these, and kind of spend a few minutes on it. So under the hood, there's a little shelf here. And on this shelf, we have a couple things. We've got our controller, which this guy is a Curtis PMC motor controller. And this is what controls how much power goes to the motor, okay? So that's an important bit. He's a 500 amp. I'm told that I could change him out to 1,000 amp and it wouldn't make any difference to the motor, but it would double my power, which is pretty cool. But anyway, we're gonna run him till he breaks though. So over here we have a DC to DC converter. So this takes voltage from the high voltage battery and uses it to charge the standard 12 volt battery. Okay. Over here we've got a service disconnect, so we can flip this switch and it turns the whole pack off. We have our our EVCC. This is our charge controller from Thunderstruck, and we have a couple contactors. So when you turn the car on, one of these contactors will close, and then when you push the gas pedal, which runs this guy, a little potentiometer, the other one closes and allows current to flow through. So that's what makes it kind of go. So underneath here, you'll see a couple more things that are pretty cool. And you see we've got one battery bank here. There's 8 batteries. There's the whole system is 40 kilowatts. So it's kind of like a medium-sized Nissan Leaf type, and it gets about 110 miles to a charge, maybe a little more, especially depending on how you drive. But so there's 8 here, and then there's 32 in the back, and I'll show you those in a second. But under here you can see there's the motor, and that motor is only rated for 25 horsepower, but it drives basically like the original Chevy S10. Which is kind of amazing because that 25 horsepower replaces an entire engine. But also under here we have a vacuum pump, which is something you'll need for your brake booster. It also helps with something else. What else does it run? It runs the I think it runs part of the power. It helps with the power steering. No, power steering is electric. Anyway, we have electric power steering. We have electric AC compressor here, and also under here on this little bracket is our charger. And the charger is pretty cool. You can set different modes, and I have 2 modes set up. So it's a slow charge, which you just plug into a regular 110 outlet, or a fast charge that runs on a 220 outlet. It goes about double the power, so pretty cool. But let me take you around back, and you can see this is where the big battery banks are. So we got one on either side of the drive shaft, and you can see it fits pretty nice. There's let's see, 16 in each one, and we have a little BMS system that's battery management. So whenever you're using the lithium batteries, and these are lithium iron phosphate, whenever you're using them, you need a battery management system to make sure keep them all healthy and stuff. So that's what those are doing. So pretty cool. And then inside, you can see there's not a whole lot different. It all looks regular, like a regular S10. A couple key differences would be, by the way, the speedometer still works. Fuel gauge says full. That doesn't do anything, but whatever. And odometer still works. But what we've added is the battery display. So this guy will tell you how many volts are in your battery. It'll tell you how many amps you're using. It'll tell you what do you got left in your battery, voltage wise. The other thing we added was a little switch here. And this switch can decide, should I do a slow charge or fast charge? That's the fast charge, and this is my slow charge. So pretty easy. And this is a little charge indicator, and it'll flash. So we put that there just so you can see, you know, if you peek in from the outside, you don't have to go in the car to see that. I also added a couple extra switches. So one that you could plug in a USB, and then one to run some fancy lights outside, and another one to run a little heater, because the AC compressor doesn't make heat. So I have a little tiny heater here. If you're not in Florida, this is too wimpy, so you have to come up with something a little more powerful. But it does work. And then the other interesting thing you can do with these is I also added wired in a little inverter. So I can plug in this guy and he will take power from the truck, and I can just run anything I want, like plug it into the house and I can run it, or any appliance, you know, 400 watts and under, and it'll run it for like a month on the full charge battery, which is nice when you live in Florida and power goes out all the time. So anyway, that's pretty much how it works. One other thing I should mention is the transmission. So this is the original 5-speed transmission, but you'll notice something if you look at the pedals. There's only 2. No clutch pedal. You actually do not need a clutch anymore because there's no resistance in the engine. So you can actually just, and the funny thing is, you can put it in, say, 3rd gear and just leave it there. You don't have to shift. You can start in 3rd gear and you can stay in 3rd gear all the way to about 55 or 60, maybe 60 miles an hour. So all you're around town, you stay in 1 speed the whole time. It's pretty cool. No shifting. So pretty neat things you can do with the electric motor. So anyway, if you guys got questions, put them in the comments. I'll try to answer them all. But that is a look at what a little electric S10